What's good? What's happening, guys? It's Sam, MrBlitztek, and welcome to today's video where we're going to talk about Ghost of Yotei, and probably not in the best way possible because, again, the madness strikes. Just when you thought you're going to get Ghost of Tsushima 2, no, that is not the case. Sucker Punch decides to just change things up. And I'm not going to lie, yes, the internet is on fire yet again, and it's all for a madness of reasons. I can understand why people are, somewhat upset because not because it's a female lead, because obviously we've been getting that a lot lately, and we obviously do not mind female leads. We've been shown that with other games, that's all fine. But I think here it's kind of warranted why some people might be generally worried about the game, and I'm on the fence as well, to be honest. One, I liked Ghost of Tsushima. I thought it was an okay game. I didn't think it was the game of the year that everyone was shouting and ranting and raving about, and that's fine. But two, I also feel like Jin Sakai's story wasn't really finished. And what I mean by that is, and spoilers, by the way, if you get to the end of the game, you get to make a decision against the last boss, and boom, decision is made. There are consequences that are still happening. There were people who finished the game back when it first came out were obviously speculating, oh, this is what's going to happen with the Senate and the Shogun are come after you, and obviously the evolution of Jin, him becoming a ninja to what seemed to believe to be a shinobi. It seemed like there's like a lot of ways to go with Jin's story, but no. Sucker Punch decided to pull the plug on that and just go totally left field and star a whole new protagonist. And like I said, I think her name is Atsu. It's a female Ronin going to another part of the island, and that is all fine. That is all fine and dandy. However, there are just some things that just don't sit right, not only with me, but the internet in general. Everyone's got an opinion. Everyone's got a right to that. But I'm going to read an article here that says Sucker Punch explains why Ghost of Yotei doesn't star Jin Sakai. And obviously, there's one reason because obviously the protagonist is new. But let's see what they quoted here. We also wanted to continue to innovate, to create something fresh but familiar. We looked beyond Jin Sakai's story and the island of Tsushima and shifted our focus to the idea of the ghost instead. At Sucker Punch, we love origin stories, and we wanted to explore that it could mean to have a new hero wearing a ghost mask and uncovering a new legend. This led us to Ghost of Yotei, a new protagonist, a new story to unfold, and a new region of Japan to explore. See, all that is kind of fine, yeah, because obviously if you watch the trailer, you know it's 300 years way past Ghost of Tsushima. So this is now in 1603 Japan. Like I said, it's a new territory, all that kind of stuff. So yes, like after reading that, how can you possibly argue with them with the kind of stance they're trying to take? Obviously, before I watched the trailer, I was saying, oh, maybe it's a disciple or student of Jin taking on what his kind of things was. But it seems like they're just going a completely different field with what it means to be a ghost instead. So for me, and this kind of idea is maybe they shouldn't leave their stories on such a cliffhanger, so to speak, and maybe having a defined ending with like the characters. So obviously, like I said in the Ghost of Tsushima, players actually get to choose one decision or another, and I like to know which one is actually the defined ending, to be honest. Leaving that kind of stuff up in the air and saying, oh, it's up to your, like, whatever, and then moving on, like, doesn't really make any sense, to be honest. It just doesn't sit right. And then to say we want to explore more stuff, that should have been like concrete somewhat in the first game, because then you've led everyone to believe, yeah, we're getting number two, we're getting more Jin Sakai. He's an original, already an original character, and now you're saying, oh, no, but now we're doing this. So for me, it's quite mad that to begin with, anyway. Like like I said, I don't have a problem with female protagonists, and I hope she's legit. I'm looking forward to play as the Ronin side of Atsu. Obviously, we see guns involved now, and it does seem like Rise of the Ronin kind of esque style, where it's like that kind of things are being more featured. However, I feel like people are somewhat divisive on it because of the lady who actually plays Atsu. So what I mean by that is when you're getting someone to play a character, it shouldn't really matter what kind of politics they're involved. So in the part, right? Unfortunately, here the actress is, I don't know, some kind of sexuality, and she stands on a lot of political points. Those things is what's kind of worrying the people who would want to invest in more Ghost games, basically. So when we see other actors or actresses like Ben Starr and so have you.
Hey, it's me, Astrobot. Short for Astrobottom, but my friends just call me Ass. I'm basically a thinking child's T-1000, putting a mask in mascot.
They have no political agenda anywhere. You go onto their Instagram pages or social media pages anywhere, and you just see fun, bubbly stuff, either to do with the game or to do with what they're doing with voice acting, rare tear, 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 tear. But when you go into someone else's page that is very political and they come into a game, it does get people kind of riled up, scared, worried that we just want some good, entertaining gameplay. You know, we want some good, entertainment stuff we got for bang for a buck. And I feel like this is where everyone's kind of up in arms now, to be honest, because unfortunately, she does seem somewhat kind of an actor. I don't know her personally, so I'm not trying to say too much. But if you do go on her page, it is actively stating this. And this is what I feel like everyone's just worried about. This is what everyone's kind of... I'm not particularly too worried because I do want to see the game first. You know what I mean? Like, this is in 1603. She's a female Ronin. What's she going to advocate against? Or Trump of the time or something? As long as there's like no he, they, them kind of stuff, not worried about that. If there's she has a, I don't know, female love interest, I don't care either, you know what I mean? But as long as it's not bashed over my head with, oh, strong female, boss, babe, whatever, because, then it does feel a bit dead. And it does feel a bit like it's ticking boxes, especially back in a time where we got the Aloys, we got the Valentines, you know what I mean? Some Resident Evil. You got all these boss-ad babes just being boss-ad babes anyway. And you know what they did in those games? They just killed things. That's all they did. They survived from A to B, and that's all we cared about. They were strong, they were feminine, and they... Oh my God, I'm even forgetting Lara Croft. Like, she's just the epitome of all that, you know? Strong, feminine, and also a boss babe in all the best kind of ways. She just didn't care what kind of sexuality she was. She didn't bring any political statements into her journey of trying to find relics and stuff. And she survived. For starters, obviously, she's the main protagonist of her own game, so of course she's going to survive. But that's what we actually care about. And I hope the people who are making this game understand that we don't care about ticking boxes, we don't care about political statements, we don't care about what sexuality someone is, we don't care about their pronouns, we don't care about none of that because that doesn't actually matter.
We all pretend we care about your international revolution, but we don't care.
It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. I don't switch on the game and be like, oh, they are doing quite well today, aren't they? Bro, I'm playing as one person for starters. Why am I calling them they? It makes zero sense. We should not be supporting this kind of stuff. And if it does come out and that is the kind of things that they're moving forward with, yes, your game will tank. Yes, your game will do poorly because we look at the game. Ghost of Tsushima is a very beautiful game. Yes, the gameplay for me kind of got a bit boring and stifled, and you know, you added a lot of stuff that I thought, oh, you could have saved to number 2. But obviously, clearly, you're not going that way anyway, so it doesn't matter. But when in the part of the game did we care about anything else apart from Jin going through his journey, beating some badass bosses, learning some new stances, learning everything that it is to be a shinobi, and then boom, story ended. No one cared about anything. Oh, and the beautiful photo mode. Oh my God. Just bring stuff like that back, please. Bring stuff like that that actually matters, guys. That's it. That's all we're advocating for. We are worried, and we don't want this in our games. And unfortunately, I don't know if you've seen the other 2 games that tanked recently. We don't want you ticking boxes because you think it's the right thing to do. The right thing to do is to make a good product so we can buy it, so you can make more money and make more Ghost games. That's all that matters. That's the bottom line. And guys, I hope you liked the video. Let me know in the comments down below what you feel about Ghost of Yotei. Are you going to buy it regardless of all the political statements? Are you going to buy it because you know it's going to be entertaining? Did you like Ghost of Tsushima? And was it your game of the year when it came out? I guess I'll see you guys on the next level. Peace out, rainbow trout.